Hello friends, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody is doing well. Let me see. Hello. We are in an event today and it's all about a favorite color. So that is neat for sure. And we're gonna be working with my favorite color, which so happens to be purple. So welcome in. Thank you so much, MJ. I really appreciate it very, very much. All right. So let me get you guys moved over here, and let's see if we can also pull up, oh goodness gracious, where did my, I moved some stuff in my FB and goodness gracious, I can't see stuff. That's just ridiculous. Okay. But again, I hope everybody is doing well. And again, before me was Miss Yvonne from the Crafting Gammy. Hopefully you got a chance to follow along with her. And up after me will be Miss Yadi from Yadi's Workshop. And I'm excited to see what she's going to do and what her favorite color is going to be. And we are, like I said, we're just going to play around for a bit with the color purple and with one of my favorite things, which is paper. So welcome in, welcome in. All right, let me bring you guys down. I need to move this just a little bit. Okay, so I have some, my vacation was amazing. It was amazing. It was very refreshing. It was just awesome to be able to spend time with hubby, and then being able to craft on the craft cruise. It was a blast all the way around. So hello there, Miss Mary. Hi there, sweet Carla. Hello, hello. So we are going to be playing with some dictionary papers, some printables that I've made recently that have the color purple in them. Okay, and I'm gonna see how this goes, because I saw this and I thought it would be a fun idea. But again, you know, sometimes what we see and putting it into action, they don't always correlate the best, but we're gonna try. So let me pull out these. Yeah, these are the misprints. So I did some printables, but they didn't print the best, which obviously made me mad. My printer decided to act up. And so I don't know if you guys can see the lines in there. So that made me mad. But it's all good. It's all good. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and cut out. So she has some purple in her. So we're going to use her. Yeah, I know. My printer. It's my old printer because I was trying to print on cardstock. And the newer printer, after having issues with it and finally talking with the IT people at Epson, I was informed that that particular printer does not do well with cardstock, which is why it was giving me trouble. So I use my old printer, and it'll print a couple okay, and then it'll start going and giving me lines. So I don't know what the heck's going on. I think I'm just gonna end up eventually upgrading to a larger printer at some point. Oh, I'm gonna, yeah, so the lined ones, yes, I'm gonna ink over them. They'll be fine. It's just I sold printables, and I am not going to send that to my customers. So I don't care if it's got lines. I work with it, but selling it, I'm not going to do that. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to create. Let me see if I can get it. It'll be fun. So if you, these are large dictionary pages. Like, these are really large dictionary pages. They're not your typical pictures. So, because they measure 11 by 8.25. So 11 by 8.5. Yeah, I know. I got a Tilgare again. But see, if I print one or two and I pause, and then I print another one or two, it does fine. It's when I tried to print like 3 at one time or more, and it just went literally ape shit. Because there's no other words for it. It went ape shit. Okay. So I'm kind of particular about my words being upside down, so that's why I flipped it. Even though this is going to cover the bulk of it, I still, you know, have a thing about the words being upside down. I don't know. It's a me thing. It's a me thing. And I'm okay with it being a me thing. Right? Okay, so where? Hello there, my sweet Yadi. How are you, dear? I hope you are doing well. Miss Yadi will be up after me. Okay, so we took our page, we flipped it up, and you can do this with any size, okay? I just grabbed this extra large dictionary that I have, but you can do it with any size paper or whatever. Literally what we are creating is an envelope. Okay? We are literally creating an envelope. And I am cutting the edges here. And taking another piece of paper. Do I have a piece of paper that I don't mind using? No, it cannot be cardstock. It needs to be regular paper. Let me grab a piece of regular paper, guys. This is where you can add, you know, papers that have a design to them, have the color. Oh, I'm sorry that you had a long day, hon. Yeah, those days at school can be long at times. So let's see if I can find a piece of paper in here that I like. Preferably, like I said, I'm looking for something that is not cardstock. my color is purple because I absolutely love purple. And I have found out that many creatives love purple as well. So that has been very interesting to find that out. Alright, so I need to trim this down to fit my paper. And you'll see what I mean here in a bit. Hello there, dear. If you guys missed Miss Yvonne, who was up before me, definitely need to go check out. She did a really cool chippy. So purple is your second after green. See, growing up, I stayed away from purples and pinks and anything that was considered girly. They didn't want to have anything to do with the color that was girly. So growing up, my colors were green, blue, black. In that order. And then as I got older, I embraced the purple. So now it's purple, green, blue, black. But I'm like Miss Yvonne. I love all the colors. Like, our world is beautiful and filled with all these precious colors, and it is a gift to have them. So, you know, why not? Alright, so I am going to create a triangle to the best of my abilities with this. And it is still too long, but it'll be fine. I'll just trim it down. Now, envelopes are fun because you can add these into your into your projects. So they are very fun to play with, for sure. Now, the video that I watched on this really promoted using washi tape, but I know that not everybody has washi tape. So we're just going to make it out of paper and glue. And I'm just going to overlap them like that. Okay. And hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. So for right now, I'm doing it like this, and then I'm gonna put glue on that side. And the idea with the washi tape is, one, it's a way to use your washi tape if you have it, and two, it's also a way that if you are using another book page, that you can give it like a different, you know, you can make it fun and playful and all that stuff. But because I'm using a colored paper, it's not necessary for me to use the washi tape option. So I'm like right in the middle of this event, guys. So there have already been creators before me and creators that will be after me. So make sure that you stick around and come and watch everybody. So now I didn't trim it all the way, but that's fine. And then you'll have it like that. which I think is really cute. So now you put glue on your flap, and that's what gets glued into your triangle. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and glue the sides here. Gold is your color. You know what? I've never been big on the metals per se, unless I'm getting into like jewelry or something. But yeah, exactly. But you gotta pay for that one. Yeah, that's an expensive color palette right there, my friend. An expensive color palette. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with enjoying the good things in life, even if they are a little on the pricier side. Okay, so now that's created the envelope part for me. But remember, I had this image that I want to add here, and I need to glue this. Right quick. Oh, I hear you. I think we all kind of need a little bit of, you know. I think we all need a little bit of payment. It's but I know you love what you do, because I know I love hosting events too, but it can be stressful. It definitely can be stressful, which is why you know, my hat's down to all of us who choose to host events, because let me tell you, people sometimes, and then just life sucks. Mario Day. Really? That's funny. I just I just listed a Mario keychain on Whatnot. I don't even know where the heck it came from. And I was like, what the? I'm like, how'd I end up with this thing? Because it's not like I like Mario like that. You know? It's not like that's my thing. I have no clue. But then again, many times I have no clue about a lot of things. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. You know, when my husband goes to telling me, he's like, I bet you don't even know half of what you've got. I want to act like I do, but he's right. I don't know about half of what I have. I darn forget it all. Oh, I don't know about all that. I was never a big video gamer or anything like that. Plus, video games were not allowed when we were growing up. It wasn't until my brother got into his teen years that my dad would let him play games on the computer. You know, the ones back in the day where you had to actually buy the physical CD and put it in to play. Yeah. That was the only thing, but we were never allowed to have those kinds of games. So I have zero clue. Yes, you can, Miss Sarah. Yes, you can. It's like a marketplace. You just list it and you put it to be loaded up into the store, and then when people search for things, it'll pop up as one of the options. So it is an option to sell without having to physically do auctions on there. I've had a few people ask me that. You know, and I get it, because either time constrained or, you know, you don't feel comfortable doing it. Either way. But if you guys ever have any questions, just let me know. I will gladly help. Hello there, Miss Maggie. Hello there, Miss Pauline. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope everyone is doing well. Not listing fees, just transaction fee. You can list as much or as little as you want. You don't get charged until something actually sells. And it's a processing fee, and then there's a small commission on it. But it's not that bad. I mean, it all depends. It all depends on what, you know. It's kind of like here, you do what you, and it also, I guess, depends on what it is that you're trying to sell, you know. There's a lot of new handmade ones that are popping up that I've never heard of before, but I've started seeing them pop up on my feed, like Tidu and some other ones. So it all depends. But you know, it's like here, you know, you build your community, you build people that follow you, that know that you'll, you know, either come live, whether it's your, like Tuesdays is my tutorial night. So people just come out and hang out with me and do like a live craft like this, and I'll walk you through like what I'm doing. You can ask me questions about anything. And I mean, I'll have stuff in my store, and if people want to go and browse and buy, they can. I'm not physically selling anything, I'm just crafting and chatting. And a lot of creators are getting into doing that because, you know, people want the community part. not just to be sold stuff. And it's going to be like anything, you know, there's always going to be good and bad. Decides that they think they're doing something for the better, and it actually makes things worse. And you know, it's like everything in life. You gotta take the good with the bad, make the best of it. Now, this little one right here, I'm actually going to keep it to add it probably into a journal of such. And like I said, you can do this technique with any size paper, which is the really cool thing I think about it. So, you were in the tub. Well, I hope you enjoyed your bath. Congratulations, my sweet Carla. I saw that you were nominated for Employee of the Month. So congratulations on that. Thank you. Now, like I said, this one I made large, but we're going to make one smaller, okay? Yeah, I know. You got Employee of the Month. Congratulations on that. That's awesome. I think it's amazing. Okay, so with this one, I need to put glue on both sides, okay? And trying to avoid my fold so that I don't get like glue that comes out, because we don't want that. Now, the tutorial I saw on this, they used the tape. I'm not too huge of a fan of the tape sometimes, so we're using glue, okay? And I get it because book pages sometimes can be very delicate and the wet glue can warp them, so I understand that. I can understand not wanting to warp your page, but at the same time, right? Okay. And then this you can actually glue this into and have this as a side tuck in your book if you want to. So it's completely up to you how you want to use something like this. I just thought it was pretty neat. You know, all you're doing is folding. You're not using per se any type of template. And like I said, the option that they showed for up here, where you used another book page and just covered it in washi tape to give it a cute design, is a good way to use up your washi tape if you have washi tape, right? And you want to use it. So definitely good idea for that. Okay, so that's that one. I think she came out cute. Okay, here is the next one. Now this one I'm actually going to trim down in half to what is more of a normal size book page that we would get out of a book. And we're going to do that one. Okay. So again, I'm not doing anything crazy. This is an 11 by 8.5. So like a piece of printer paper. It just so happens to be a dictionary page. Okay. And same thing, you're going to fold it up, leaving a space. Okay. And then you're going to fold this side down as well. Okay. Making sure that we trim where we folded it. We need to trim it inward. Okay, we're going to glue the sides of this one. So, what's everybody gonna have for dinner? I know, did some burnt end of like pork belly. So we're gonna have that with some rice, which is in the rice cooker right now. And we'll see what else we do. Okay, so here you have your little envelope. And I mean, you could leave this like this. That is totally fine. You know, you can still glue this. Do I have? So you could still glue this into a book and it still be a flap, you know, a flap out where you have like that, right? So you can still do it that way, or you can glue it into and then you have just open like that. You know, you don't have to do the additional add-on to it. You don't have to. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Where did my other images go to? Okay. So for this one, we're going to use the fox. Actually, no, let's use the dark, because this one's got purple in it. Seeing as I have the purple ink out and everything. Thank you. Well, whenever I come to Louisiana again, I guess maybe you'll make me some gumbo or some other yummy dish. Alright. So again, that does have purple in it. So I'm going to glue it in. Have a little bit extra, that's going to be fine. But I'm going to go ahead and hit this with the purple. And because this one has light lines in it, I'm going to go over it just a little bit with the ink. It's not bad, but you know. Ooh, yummy. You know, crawfish is not something I've ever tried, so that would definitely be new. So just put a little bit here. And I'm adding images like because I already had these, like I said, I already had these printed, but you can stamp on this. You can stamp images on these. You don't have to, you know, add a full printable on here. You just use what you got. If you've got stamp, stamp. If you've got, you know, you want to ink it, ink it. You want to spray it down. You know, have a fussy cut, put the fussy cut on there. And again, you know, you have the little where you have the flap here. So I'm gonna just trim this down so we can ink it all up. So if you are ever wondering what to do with like some book pages, here is an idea. And like I said, I'm incorporating purple, which is my favorite color. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can't wait to see what you do. I debated on doing like a decor craft, but then I was like, no, because these I'll actually use them in a journal. These will be you know, these will be great to add into a journal. So I'll have them ready for whenever I'm ready to incorporate them. Yes, you can paint it, you can put stickers on these, like you can do so many things, you know. That is, like I said, this was just a really cute way to make, you know, a decorative envelope. And like I said, you can add them in not just as an envelope. You could do something like this even to mail stuff in if you wanted to. If you wanted to make some cute, you know, letters, you know, again, you know, that would be fun, right? Get something different. I think it would be fun to get something like this. A handmade envelope, right? Because somebody took the time. That's awesome. Yeah, I know paper crafting is not everybody's cup of tea. And that is perfectly fine. That is why there is, you know, so many different beautiful things that we can do, because we are each unique, right? Now this one really doesn't have much purple in it, but it has a fox, and if you guys know, you know. I love foxes and I love cats. So we're going to incorporate this one because I think this would be so cute. So again, I'm just going to glue down my edges. Actually, you know what, this one, let me do it differently, actually. I'm breaking the mold. Ooh. You should come live. We would love to see what you create. You know? I know I would. I always learn from everybody. And I love learning and seeing how people do things different. Different techniques. You know, if you've been doing it for a good while, or you came over from scrapbooking, then you know you might have different techniques that I've never seen before, or a different way of doing something, and I want to learn that. But if you're not comfortable coming live doing it, of course, don't do anything that you don't want to. But that would be fun. Okay, so this one I did differently. This one I left it open at the top. Okay, that one I left it open at the top. Oop, that's not gonna fit. So I'm going to notch it, because this one is going to go into a journal as a flap. And I'm going to use this image here. Of course, that's the thing about it. Everybody does things in a special way, your way, and I love learning from everyone else because, you know, there's no two who are alike. You know, and even like in this case where I saw the tutorial of using the book page in this manner, I mean, I went totally off and did my own thing, right? I didn't do anything near like what the person was doing, and that's just because my style is different, and that's a good thing. I'm excited about our collaboration too. Guys, if you are not in MJ's, if you're watching this live and you are not in MJ's group, alright, the group event that she hosts is Crafters Gone Wild. If you're not in that group and would like to join for the event that we are collabing on the 24th, that is paper bags and flowers, please send her a message so that we can get you added to the chat so that you can join the polls, because it is filling up fast and I'm excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I already have a whole idea of what I'm doing. I have a whole idea in my head of what I'm doing that day. And it doesn't have to be journaling, guys. You know, you can do a regular decor craft. You just need to incorporate paper bag and flowers. So again, if you want to be part of it, please, please, please reach out to MJ Corp. She's in the chat. Or go over to the group on FB. It's a free group and it's linked in my description. And find her there. Comment that you would like to join in, and we would love to add you. Yes, I am super glad too. Yes, it's gonna be a fun one for sure. I'm excited. So I'm just folding this over so that I can ink here. Oh, okay. Well, you do really good with your graphics. You could, I guess, maybe like a calendar or something. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure how you would go about it, but that's what I would think. Okay, second favorite color, green. And only because I'm adding this one so that it can be a top pocket. And I think I have one more left. One more page that I popped off the book, so we'll go ahead and use it and do another one. Alright, there we go. Ah! Well, I'm glad you know how to do that. I'm still old school. I still use Canva. I can't figure out the whole GPT crap. I can't. I still have zero clue how to use that thing. People are always telling me like, oh, but it's so easy, just put your... I tell it to do stuff and it does not do what I want it to do. Or at least it don't look the way I want it to look. It'll look all weird and stuff. So this was one of the printables that I did. It's for a pocket. So we're gonna add a pocket on top of the pocket. Ah! Sometimes it messes up and you have a hissy fit. Okay. Oh, people tell me like, oh yeah, you just type it in. I'm like, well, evidently I'm not a book writer or something. It's the reason why I've never made, you know, myself famous yet, because it does not like what I tell it to do, or I cannot express myself properly. Something. I ain't doing something right. I am not doing something right with it. And Gare's not big fan of that kind of stuff, so that is usually something I have to figure out if I want to use it. Like I had to figure out the whole Canva thing, which, like I said, is not a problem for me. I just cannot figure out for the life of me how to use the Chat GPT. That's good. Hey, when your kid tells you you're smart, you know, you best take it, 'cause they don't like to give out compliments that much. At least from my experience. Okay, I folded that as wonky as all get up. Trying to see. Well, I have another one, but I don't know that I want to do two of the same. I think I'm going to do another short one. Yeah. Again, I'm just folding my page since this is the size of a printer page, not your typical book page. And then I'm gonna trim it down. That is really good. You know, that is actually a blessing to have, my friend. That side's torn. Okay, that side's not that bad. So let me do this one. Ooh, perfect. Using that purple again, cover up any of the white spots that I might have missed when I was trimming it. That's the best part of inking, is that you are able to cover up mistakes. That is crazy. That is crazy. Oh my word. That's just something else there. I tell you, I don't know, these things are just... they are dumb. And sadly, all of the technology dumbs us down, because we rely on it so much to do sometimes the most basic things. And trimming the edges. So I just trimmed it down a little bit because I felt it was too wide. And now I'm gonna glue this side. Go there. We'll glue over on this side. Yep. I mean, the day and age of, you know, we have so much information at the tip of our fingers, but then, you know, we're so lazy we still want something else to do the researching for us. My daughter is big against anything AI related. Yep, it is. It is sad. Because we rely, like you say, like we rely on autocorrect or autofill where we're typing it and it'll automatically just put in the rest of the words, so we don't even have to think of what we're typing, of what we're writing anymore. You know, trying to explain how to get to numbers to the kids, they're just like, well, why can't I just use my calculator? Because use your brain. Like, you know, you don't know what 7 times 9 is. Okay, well, what is 7 times 10? 70. Okay, well, then subtract 9 and tell me what that is. You know, or whatever. Well, I said 7, so subtract 7. But, you know what I mean. I loved going to the library. Well, growing up at first, my dad made sure that we had like all of the National Geographics and all of the encyclopedia books. We had the Encyclopedia Britannica and this, that, the other, and I loved to read. I loved to research. And then finally, 5th and 6th grade, my dad would let me go to the library with my classmates, to like the actual public library, to do research papers. And I'd be like, Dad, but you know, we gotta do a research paper. It's easier to just go to the library there than them having to come here to the house. Because he'd be like, oh, but we have all that here. I'm like, Dad. So but I loved it. I loved it. Now, you know, nowadays we want to know something, we Google everything. You know, we have maps that tell us turn right at the, you know, at the light, instead of you reading a map and knowing the road and being looking for the road name to know where you are turning, right? So this one right here, oh, I didn't ink that side, but this one, so you have the big pocket and then you have the small pocket that we added right there. So this one's got a double pocket to it. Ooh, cool. You know, you were considered to be, you know, educated if you had, you know, some form of an encyclopedia set in your house. You know, because not everybody could afford it, or not everybody would have one, you know. So, but nowadays you can't even get a kid to pick up a dictionary like this, you know. What happened to the days of spelling bees where you had to memorize words and how they were spelled and their meanings? You know, in school they have this 100-word thing that the kids have to learn when they're in like kindergarten. But by the time they get to like 2nd or 3rd grade, half the kids don't even remember those words. Because it was just learn the list, get it done, move forward. There's no like life skills with it. So, I don't think that's right. Alright, well, let's go see Miss Yadi, everybody. I kind of went over my time, did not see that, but these are what we created out of book pages, with my favorite color being purple, second one being green. Again, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's go see Yadi, okay?